Yeah, not much. Just been chilling here with Rex. Look, Rex, say hi. Say hi, Rex. Look who it is. It's your favorite person. Look. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. He misses you.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by Amazon Prime. It's Friday, June 6th, 2025. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
I gotta say it once to get it out of the way. Curtin Haliburton.
Over yonder, making the magic happen, it's super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Big shouts to our guys, Trey and Esh, who went live last night from the OKC floor to give their immediate reaction to this crazy game that we're going to get into. TK even got dapped up midstream by Kenny the Jet Smith.
Yeah.
So this was a hilarious 25 minute podcast the guys did after the game last night.
It was great. It was great. We just watched it again. I still laugh every time I see Kenny, see Trey. And it looks like Trey's getting back to work to talk about basketball, but Kenny comes in. Yeah. Surprising that Kenny comes in.
That's right, man.
For the dap.
Remember when Kenny Smith hated us?
Guess not.
When we first got there. Then he loved us.
Yeah.
Good stuff from Trey and Ash.
I'm still waiting for my JBL speaker, by the way, Kenny.
Oh, yeah. That was a great gift at that party.
Yeah, it was fun.
If you haven't checked that podcast out, that video, go do so. Help the guys out. Did a great job going live last night. But it's our turn now to really dig into it. We'll get to some random notes. It's The Drop. We'll have some rapid fire fun at the end. But the Pacers did it again. The underdog Indiana Pacers pulled off another stunning win last night, this time taking down the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1 of the 2025 Finals. The Pacers trailed by as many as 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable.
But pulled off their fourth shocking late comeback of these playoffs, and Tyrese Haliburton, once again the hero, hitting the game-winning jumper with 0.3 seconds left. His deep deuce gave Indy its first and only lead of the entire game. They've done it again, Tass, and they're up 1-0, man.
It is unbelievable that each series now, all four series, Haliburton has hit a shot in the last 1.3 seconds left in either the fourth quarter overtime to either tie it or win it. I'm glad he didn't do the choke thing like he happens to do. This is game one of the NBA Finals. Let's wait before the choke. But I do want to just watch it over and over and over because Cason Wallace picked him up full court, and he tracked him the entire way. And I like watching it from this opposite end of camera, this phantom view, because Cason Wallace is on him, but I think he sees Alex Caruso coming, so he kind of thinks he's handing him off to Alex Caruso, so he gives Haliburton an extra step there, extra bit of space as Haliburton sees him. He's like, okay, I'm rising, and I'm hitting this shot. So I think there's a miscommunication there from this perspective, because Cason Wallace, again, he was tracking him the entire way. He was in Haliburton's shorts until that spot where Caruso looks like it's your job now, but Caruso goes to box out, and there's that extra little bit of space for Haliburton to rise and hit the shot. What a freaking shot.
I mean, credit to Carlisle and the Pacers for not calling the timeout.
Yeah.
Let him do it again. Otherwise, you probably got doored on him, right?
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't get that shot off. He did have the smaller Wallace on him. Haliburton's a big dude.
He is.
And goes right all the time, and obviously felt comfortable stepping into that jumper. But I hear your takeaway there from, like, what are we doing? Is Caruso coming over to help? But,
yes,
man, the stones on this guy. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable how they got there in the end. Because, as you said, it's 15 points with 9 minutes left. Andrew Nembhard was a hero in this game. Because even if you look at the stat line, a hero has 4 of 11, 14 points, but he was, when it came down to it, 15 points down, 9.5 minutes left in that fourth quarter. He started it up. He went at Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso basically like hugs him, but somehow Nembhard is able to finish through.
That was awesome.
And get that bucket. And then he had big assist after big assist to go on a 12-2 run to bring the Pacers back in this game. 4 threes by their bigs, 2 from Miles Turner, 2 from Obi Toppin, and Nembhard had 3 big assists to get them closer to the end there, even though one of those Miles Turner threes was a bank job. Oh, that was nuts. A bank job from, the side. He's sort of free throw line extended and shoots that ball. How does that bank in? And then Nembhard with 2 minutes left hits that 3 over Shea. That was amazing.
He was in his bag.
Yeah, just through his legs, and hits that shot over Shea to get them closer. And then we got Dagnall deciding to go extremely small the last 3 minutes and 24 seconds. They don't have a center out there.
No.
They pull out Chet Holmgren, and we can debate whether or not it was a smart move. Lou Dort had a monstrous block with a minute plus left, so he was playing center. I had my girls watching that Lou Dort block over and over and over again because Lou Dort just goes straight up. This monstrous man straight up and is able to just hang out there, hang in the air, and then block the shot. That was beautiful
and
stuff.
then SGA scored on the other end. And
He
that
did.
was one of, a dozen times where you probably thought, they got it.
Right.
They did it. OKC's going to win this game. Good fight from the Pacers, but a little too late.
Yeah.
Like that one to me was like, okay, this one's finally over. They finally did it. But I thought that like 10 times in this game.
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, oh, it's a wrap. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a wrap. Oh, it's a wrap.
How did these guys come back? I will say, though, Shea did have a bad minute 10 of the end of the game. His last minute 10 was bad. They were up 3. He goes in. Pascal Siakam, acting as center, blocks the shot. And then they go down the other way. Again, Pacers are down 3 points. Andrew Nembhard tries to hit another shot. He misses. Shea is guarding Pascal Siakam. And Pascal Siakam says, all right, I'm going in for the offensive rebound. I'm the biggest guy on the floor, essentially. And Shea just looks kind of gassed as Pascal Siakam comes from the corner. And Shea just kind of throws his hands at him, doesn't box him out. And Pascal gets in there for the offensive rebound. So now it's a 1-point game.
I'll add to that, though. If you're going to miss a 3-pointer in the NBA, basically make it an air ball. Because that one I know it wasn't technically an air ball, but it grazed the front of the rim.
Oh, that's a good call.
And fell to Siakam.
Yeah.
So again, like I'm not like defending SGA. He definitely looked gassed, should have had a body on him. But like, if you miss in the NBA, I swear to God, it's your best chance to get the board.
Yeah.
Just miss it bad.
That's how you get it.
Yeah, because obviously the defense is like ready for the board, ready for the bounce, out a little bit more. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, it's hard to say Shea had a bad last minute and 10 because he had an awesome game and he just scored before that. Yeah. But then here he goes the other way, gets blocked by Pascal, and then we're up 1 here. What am I going to do? He kind of just has a 1-pass possession where he kind of just dribbles. Nembhard cuts him off. So 7 seconds left. He says, all right, Jalen Williams, you do it. Jalen Williams misses. Luckily, OKC is able to get the ball back because of that challenge that Rick Carlisle had. Hey, I think Pascal Siakam was pushed by Cason Wallace. They give the Thunder the ball, and then Shea is stopped by Andrew Nembhard. Cue Haliburton to come the other way after that miss. The guy is ridiculous. So it was. Yeah, you're right. How many times do you think OKC's taking this thing? OKC's taking this thing. Jalen Williams is yelling. He's screaming with 9:30 left as they go to the timeout, and then Andrew Nembhard again started it. He started it, but all his guys, Toppin, Miles Turner, also from the mid-range, those guys just come through in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, after an abysmal first half.
Yeah.
Where I know we'll talk about this, but 19 turnovers in the first half. Now, lucky for Indiana, some of them were dead ball variety. It wasn't them going the other way, but the ones that were live balls, the Pacers did an incredible job just to get back. Their transition defense was awesome, even if they were turning it over, because OKC was not capitalizing when they were getting these steals. They were like missing threes or missing layups or turning it over themselves even. Happened a couple times. Like, if we had told you coming into this, like they're going to have basically 24, 25 turnovers, Dort's going to hit 5 threes, SGA is going to have 38.
Yeah.
There's just no way you'd look me in the face and say that the Pacers still win. As miraculous as this run has been, and they feel like the team of destiny, there's just no way you would have if I had given you those numbers.
No, I know.
But like you said, that fight in the fourth quarter, I know he gets overlooked here. I thought Mathurin at the start of the fourth quarter played with some aggressiveness. He attacked the rim. He got some free throws. Then he had another layup, just like using his athleticism. Again, there were so many incidents where they just sort of like stayed within striking distance. And they were always in that, call it 8 to 15 point range. And in the NBA, that's not enough. And definitely not enough against the Pacers. And they could never get over the hump, and the Thunder just like sort of started settling for threes. Wallace was shooting threes, like you said, J-Dub, and everybody was. Dort started missing in the fourth, and then they went smaller, and so then they weren't even grabbing offensive rebounds. Yeah,
you're right. Mathurin played a part. There's no doubt. It is amazing that every single guy on this Pacers team comes through. He even did a decent job on Shea when he was guarding him, like he did on Jalen Brunson in the last series. Ben Mathurin, of all people, like slowing people down. But it was miraculous in that fourth quarter, those stats, where the Thunder 0 from 3, while the Pacers hit 6 threes.
6 for 10 in the fourth quarter from the Pacers. They hit 18 overall, and the Thunder missed a bunch of them. But at one point in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, the graphic showed you at the bottom of the screen, it was like 11-10 or 12-11, like in 3-point shots made. So it was like, you know, it wasn't drastic.
No.
But then that fourth quarter, when they hit 6, some of them insane, like the banked in job, but others just from pure hustle. Like the one I keep coming back to is like Neesmith like attacked baseline. He got wrapped up by like 2 or 3 Thunder guys, but he just kept fighting and he wouldn't like give up the jump ball or get the steal. And that one got kicked out. And I think that was a Toppin one that he banged on the side, like huge plays. And then, like you said, Nembhard had a lot of the other ones assisting those guys. You called it, Tass. Called a couple things right heading into this. One, Pacers are probably going to be okay with the star in SGA getting his. Just try and take away everyone else. Check.
Yeah.
And then you brought up, watch the Pacers go through Nembhard a lot more. And they did. You know, Haliburton's a hero. No doubt. Coming through with that. But like they're not there without him.
Oh, no.
Obviously playmaking more, doing the high pick and roll, feeling it with that huge step back 3 over SGA, feeling it so much he tried it again. That was sort of the air ball that then lands in Siakam's lap. But yeah, you called that as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that Pascal Siakam. I called the over 19.5 points in this game.
Oh, that would hurt.
Yeah, that Pascal was at 19. He didn't get that half point. I didn't know that the Thunder would be starting Cason Wallace, and Pascal Siakam took advantage of that in a couple cross matchups to start this game because the Pacers couldn't score, and I didn't know Haliburton would be thrown off. As you heard him on the audio track, he said, I was just kind of had the jitters, and he wasn't right. And to see at the end of the game and to hear Andrew Nembhard was at his locker and did like 3 minutes of press, of media, and then he was gone. He didn't have to do anything. Everybody's talking about Haliburton. Right. Everybody talks about Haliburton and forgets about Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nembhard. Pascal Siakam with that monstrous block and the putback with that minute left, huge. Nembhard, fourth quarter, huge. Ben Mathurin coming through, huge. Miles Turner coming through with 2 big threes and a mid-range shot, huge. Obi Toppin. Who the heck saw that coming? 5
threes to basically match Dort. I mean, just to cancel him out. Yeah.
He
looked shook.
Yeah, he was bad.
In the first half. That guy was throwing the ball out of bounds twice. Then he bobbled it.
Sloppy Toppin.
He looked scared. Sloppy Toppin. Yeah. And, but then obviously, like a lot of them, bounced back in the second half. Like they cleaned up the turnovers too in the second half.
How do they do it? How do these Pacers do it? It is wild to think about. How they only had a lead with only 0.3 seconds left. I can't help but think of the 2011 Mavs and their run to the NBA championship and how they were not really favored in that first series. Just like the Pacers here in Milwaukee. Dallas wasn't really the Pacers versus Milwaukee. Some people took the Pacers. Yeah. Some people took Dallas over Portland in 2011. But then they were just underdog. Like the Pacers are to the Cavs, Knicks, and Thunder here. And here they are.
Yeah.
Now, the Thunder have been here before.
2 rounds ago.
Yeah, exactly. In game 1 against the Nuggets. It's not far-fetched to see them come back. But, yeah, they gave up that fourth quarter lead and the Aaron Gordon game winner. So I still think they're the favorite, but I will be proven wrong, I'm sure. I mean, this is going to be a long series, and that's the beauty of it, it feels like.
Indiana has played in 9 official clutch games this postseason. They've won 8 of them. So they have basically an 89% winning percentage in the clutch here in the postseason. So this is their recipe, right? I mean, it's oddly get behind and then come back, but like if the game is close, the confidence in all of these guys, especially when you know, hey, if we're need 2 or 3 or whatever, we're just giving it to Haliburton, and we feel like he's going to hit it every single time because he basically is.
Yeah,
he is. He's not missing any of these like huge shots. The Pacers are like reminding me of these videos you see online where it's like a guy on a moped or a guy on a motorbike, sometimes even like a quad bike, and they fall off and the bike goes on its side, but they refuse to take their hand off the handlebar, and in doing so are just like pulling back on the throttle, and the bike keeps going and they're dragging around and stuff like that. That's the Pacers.
That's a good one.
They don't let go of the damn handlebar. The difference is in those epic fail videos, the guy eventually crashes, lets go, whatever. The Pacers would be the equivalent, like they jump back up on the bike, do a wheelie, pull over to the camera, and we're like, yeah, I meant to do that. It's like, what? Like, let go. How do they not let go? They just hold on somehow, always holding on, somehow appearing to make it worse, but then like come back. It's special. It's special. They do legit feel. I know there's a lot of finals still to go here. You're right. Thunder probably still the favorites.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you just have to go, like, how many more times can this happen where you're like, it's destiny, man.
Yeah.
They are supposed to win this. Great job by the script writers, because this is pretty special. But what an awesome start to this finals. It gives it, like, so much juice, too.
Oh, yeah. Good comparison right there. I mean, Haliburton had a 12-point game until that game-winning shot. It wasn't a spectacular Haliburton game.
No.
They allowed Andrew Nembhard, again, kind of saved the day, but it was wild. 9:42 left, down 15, to see the Pacers go on a 32-16 run to end the game. And they scored 35 in that fourth quarter. They didn't even come close to 32 in the first three quarters. They just banged it home. It's just the numbers are dumb. I'm looking at my sheet here. Like, the Thunder took 16 more shots.
Yeah, right. And we talked about that. Possessions. Whoever wins, that's winning the game. Well, that was wrong.
Just came through when it mattered, because they hit 6 threes in the fourth quarter, and the Thunder hit 0. And so they just couldn't get to the end. And maybe Shea is gassed a little bit because he did have to score a lot. They did say to the Thunder, all right, Shea, go off, and we'll take care of the other guys. But it felt like with Chet and the way he started, and Jalen Williams, like 2 minutes into his first NBA Finals game, bringing the ball up and stepping into a three-point shot and hitting it, you think, okay, if Shea is good and Chet is good with the way he started, along with that Jalen three, you think, oh, man, they're good.
Yeah, the problem was those guys didn't do a whole lot more after that. Chet and J-Dub. Except J-Dub started the fourth quarter. He was like 3 of 12 going into the fourth, and then he went 3 of 3. He had the big fast break dunk, couple ones where he attacked inside, was sneaking in there, and that was definitely one of the times I thought, oh, okay, now he has really shown up here.
Right.
Now this is going to be difficult for the Pacers. So that was the one of 10 or 11 times where I thought OKC was winning. But I thought Chet, also he didn't play a ton. Chet Holmgren either.
No, and then that's a fair question with 3:24 left. Daigneault, he goes back to those Thunder last year before Isaiah Hartenstein when Chet Holmgren was hurt. They were playing a 6'6" guy at center, essentially.
Yeah.
They were tiny for the last 3:24. Again, Lou Dort comes with a huge block, but Pascal Siakam, the monster of anybody on the floor, he's the biggest guy, comes through with the big offensive
on
rebound
both ends,
and the big block of Shea with 7 seconds left. So I wonder if that happens again.
Were you surprised that Daigneault started Wallace for Hartenstein in game 1 of the NBA Finals when your team has won 80 games at this point? You are making the decision to switch it up before you've even played a minute. And even though we've seen him do similar things in the start of second halves, I was amazed that he did that.
Oh yeah, I was surprised too. I was surprised how the Thunder reacted positively. They were balling.
It did work.
Cason Wallace has a big minus, and he got the shot hit over him. Although I do think there was a miscommunication there. Yeah, I am surprised for sure. Well, you don't play one of your bigs. You went and got Hartenstein to pair with Holmgren before the season, so we can't get out rebounded.
Right.
And it was a problem. It was a problem right at the end. I don't think Cason Wallace was the problem at all, but. This Pacers team, I guess, would have beaten any team. I don't know. Hartenstein came out and played awesome in his minutes.
Oh, God, he had 7 points right away when he checked in.
Yeah, he was so good.
Yeah. And Daigneault's reasoning was look, we did this during the regular season at times. This isn't nothing really new to us. We like the matchup. We're going small. Again, it wasn't surprising they went small. It just maybe was what? Why just right here in game 1? Yeah.
It isn't.
Why?
Right to start the game. It isn't surprising that Cason Wallace played 33 minutes and Hartenstein played 17 minutes, but you'd flip that, and Hartenstein would start and play 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was surprising for sure.
Do you think he goes back?
Yeah, that's a weird.
To Hartenstein starting?
Yeah.
Do you look like you're oddly panicking even more? I don't know. I don't know what to think, because RJ on the call is oh, the Pacers have already won here. In the mind game department, the Thunder are already switching it up because they are quote unquote worried about the starting lineup and whatever the matchup problem. I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but
it didn't seem like there was any truth to it.
No.
The Thunder were playing great.
They had 19 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, the Thunder were responding well. Although I think Richard Jefferson's argument here would make a lot more sense in game 2.
Well,
if they do flip it,
if it's
then.
game 2 or game 3, it's nobody blinks an eye.
Right.
It's the fact that you did it in game 1 at home when you've won, again, 80 games at this point. You're 68 wins in the regular season, and you're 12 up to this point. You're looking for 4 more. That's the weird part.
Yeah, I don't know if they go back to the Hartenstein, because he was so good. As you said, the points at setting picks. He's such a good screen flipper. You know, it's a first season Isaiah Hartenstein, then he's Isaiah Hartenstein. He just flips. So I associate that with his name, because I think he says Isaiah Hartenstein.
I know.
Anyway,
I know. I stay Hartenstein. You, I feel, do go more Steen, and we've had this debate before.
Depends the day. Trey should ask him, because Hartenstein came up to Trey, if you didn't hear our last show, and said, well, I used to watch you guys when I was young. And he put his hand to the floor like he's like,
I used to watch you guys when I was a Hartenstein.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm a Hartenstein.
But he was awesome. He was so good.
Yeah.
He was, and there's lots of stats that don't show up in the box score, but Andrew Nembhard airballed a 3 because Hartenstein was all up in his face, getting out there to 3-pointers. Now, I think part of that is because he was that sort of, in a way, it was good because he had all that energy, not having to start the game. And I think why he was able to contest shots like that, why he was able to blow by Thomas Bryant, was because he came off the bench and was that spark. So I guess they stick with Cason Wallace, because if there's any team to go small against, it is this Pacers team that isn't huge. That doesn't.
But all that said, the Pacers won the rebound battle last night.
They did.
That's big.
Yeah.
Especially in a game where you're going to turn it over on so many damn possessions. You're going to hopefully want to win at least the rebounding battle.
Yep.
Which, those guys were scrappy. Like, what's the box score? It's like Siakam with 10 boards, Neesmith with 12 boards, Haliburton had 10 boards. So everybody obviously getting on the glass to give him a chance and give him those either second chances or to end a possession and get the stop. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be surprising if they go either way. I guess it is the mental win for the Pacers. If they do flip it again, I suppose.
You're like, hey, they're adapting to us. We know what we are. We know how we're going to play, and we know how we're going to start this game. So I guess a little bit, but like you said, it's not like Indiana was up at the end of the first quarter. But despite everything being turned over, they somehow were not down huge. Every time you were like, this game feels like OKC's sort of crushing them, and there was like, oh, it's an 8-point game. No, it's a 10-point game.
Right.
Never really out of it all that much.
And they reacted extremely well to losing that game 1 against the Denver Nuggets and bombed them by 43 in game 2. But they didn't have to change their lineup at all, right? They just rolled that same lineup again. So you could see them rolling again with that same lineup.
I loved SGA's quote after the game. He said, it's a 48-minute game. The Pacers teach you that lesson more than anybody else in the league the hard way. Facts right there. It's like they had him. I mean, they had him for, what would you call it? I don't know, 40 minutes, if not longer. They felt comfortable with it, and then took their foot off the gas a little bit, and the Pacers do what they do. Here's a question for you. Is Haliburton currently having the greatest clutch playoff run in NBA history? Like, when you go through it, because despite only 14 points, he has made the key shot in every one of the Pacers' 4 ridiculous comebacks this postseason. Game 5 versus the Bucks, Game 2 versus the Cavs, Game 1 versus the Knicks, and now Game 1 in the NBA Finals versus the Thunder.
It sure feels that way.
Right. Since the NBA play-by-play era. People are comparing it like, because that comes in, 96, 97, the play-by-play era. So you can't, like, we don't have, like, the clutch numbers for your Birds and your Magics and even a lot of your Jordans, right? But Jordan 98, clutch as hell. Robert Horry, 2002.
Yeah.
A few LeBrons to pick from. Either 07, 13, 18. I mean, there's probably some other ones. 2011 Dirk, to go back to that Mavericks miraculous run that they did. So it's right there is my point. It, like, has to be. I mean, they go on to win the title as one of the biggest upsets of all time, as the only 4 seed to ever do it. Then hell, he might have to go to the top of the list. But right now, he's just completely in the mix with these GOATs, basically.
Yeah, and it happened during the regular season too. The stat going around that he was 12 of 14 on shots to tie or go ahead the final 2 minutes. I mean, how he does it, because the other guys.
How is that possible?
I know. It doesn't make sense.
They don't go 12 of 14 in spans of the game in general,
no.
let alone in these high pressure moments when all the focus is on stopping him. But he just gets to his shot and had the basically had to horseshoe up his ass in the one against the Knicks, no doubt, to get it to overtime.
Yeah.
Like, that one's a little bit of luck. A lot of luck. Not that one. I mean, it banged home a little bit, but obviously comfortable getting to his spot, like you said, on the right.
I want a little bit of an AI re-edit of having Cason Wallace all up in his face rather than take a step back to give him a little space before that shot. I would like to see. Obviously, it's all fake, so we won't be able to relive the actual moment that the ball is released from Tyrese Haliburton's hands. But Cason Wallace, unfortunately, gave him that tiny bit of space, whether or not it was a defensive flub with him and Caruso. He probably thought Caruso, the bigger guy, would be there to contest the shot. I wish we were in the locker room to find out what that mistake was, because I don't know if he makes the shot.
I mean,
if he's
you
bigger.
call it a mistake. I mean, you sort of just have to tip your cap to the guy.
Well, I'm tipping my cap, but
Like-
if I'm playing defense and I'm able to guard him from the moment he has the ball to all the way to the 3-point line, if I'm able to stick with him and then I just kind of take a little step back and give him space, he would never give him space. Cason Wallace would never give him space.
Haliburton was well aware of how much clock was left. I mean, he basically played it perfect, right? In getting, like, playing it to the last possible second to shoot. I know there's 0.3 left once it goes in, but like when he releases it, Wallace has to play him like he might drive. We've seen Haliburton go inside there. Now, you generally think he wants to do his little step back. He's done that a lot of times, but sort of down the stretch had a couple where he was attacking and scoring inside. So you got to play that. You don't have Chet out there. You don't have Hartenstein.
Yeah.
So it's not like you got huge rim protection behind you. So I don't know. He was trying to like sort of back up a little bit. Well, what a shot.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
guy's just unbelievable right now.
He is unbelievable. And
It's nuts. I saw this from Sam Quinn at CBS Sports. No one else in the play-by-play era, including LeBron, has made at least one such shot, these Haliburton-like shots, in each of the 4 rounds across their entire careers. Because he has, as I went through there, he's done it in every single round. Haliburton has one of these nuts shots. Jordan did it, but he didn't complete his bingo card until the 97 NBA Finals. So Jordan eventually got one in every round, but it took him a long time.
Yeah.
So the point is, Haliburton has done in a single postseason what it took Jordan to do in an entire career. And what LeBron has not even, actually accomplished in 22 NBA seasons. Basically game winner or clutch shot like that in the final couple seconds in every single round.
Yeah, and the benefit is Haliburton being the sort of pure point guard type of player where he doesn't have to shoot every possession. He doesn't need 25 to 30 shots per game. The guy had a 14-point game and hit a game winner, and he's the hero. Because these are the Pacers, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot all the time. So it is fun. It is fun, and that's the reason why I feel like he had every little ounce of energy that Shea didn't on the other side. I mean, Shea had to be sort of a hero the entire game, and he had monstrous help at handling the ball.
You slipped it in there at one point, that lane violation on the Siakam free throw attempt when he did clank 2 free throws. I mean, it is down the stretch here. All these points matter. And the second one, the officials come in and say, "Oh, no. OKC's into the lane. We're going to reshoot that one." And he hit it. I mean, obviously ended up being a big point in a game you win 111-110.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit of a weird call because there was like 10 guys, it felt like, in the lane. Like everybody was a violation.
Yeah.
And even Breen was like, you can go weeks of watching the NBA and they'll never call that. So it's just strange that they did.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you had a take on it. You thought it was the right call?
Well, maybe they had a make-up call, because I think what I was referring to actually was when it was like 23 seconds left when the ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and the ball went off of Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, his back was on the ground when he touched it.
And
Yeah.
Cason Wallace kind of pushed him.
Yeah.
But they didn't call Cason Wallace for the for the foul, so maybe that's a make-up call.
Possibly.
But I liked how they didn't call that. It's just like guys are going to hit each other. And it definitely was off Pascal Siakam, although I love Pascal Siakam's face.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, that was great.
The
Great.
slow-mo
Yeah.
shot.
So I like how they didn't make that call. And OKC had another shot, another opportunity. Like I just said, Shea gave it to Jalen the first time. That eventually went out of bounds. Then Shea had another opportunity and missed. The guy was miraculous, but we all focus on the stuff that was late. I think throughout the game, all I was taking notes was Caruso's help block was freaking phenomenal. I mean, there's smart plays by like Cason Wallace grabbing Haliburton's arm as he streaks down the lane to try and get a pass, but because Cason Wallace yanked him. Haliburton didn't get it. There's just it's overshadowed all the great defensive plays that the Thunder made, especially Caruso. It goes on and on and
That's
on.
like the beauty of these coaches playing so many guys.
Yeah.
I think it's like this high level defense, or at least effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they just come in waves and they play so many guys. That's like, that starts to wane as a game goes on when you have these coaches, and we've seen teams that like play their guys 40, 45 minutes. Well, like, I mean, something's got to fall off. Like, you're going to lose some energy, especially you usually lose it on the defensive end first. But we don't really have that case because so many guys are both really good defenders, or at least give a damn and put in effort. And then, like, everybody's sort of fresh when they keep coming in these ways. Didn't we have Rick Carlisle did the old, like, hockey lineup switch?
He did.
He took 5 guys off. 5 guys in, let's go.
Yeah.
Jump over the boards.
This is a team, man. And when you're going through all of Haliburton's game winners and how he's able to do it, you know, I go back to just who this guy is. And he was a number 12 pick, and he wasn't the guy to take over. He wasn't going to be a superstar that needed to shoot all the time. And the way that Rick Carlisle says, 5 guys come on in game 1 of the NBA Finals, and it works. I mean, the guys that he plays, same for the other side on Dagnall's side. I mean, they go deep as well.
Yeah.
AJ Mitchell.
You called that too? You're like, we're going to see Mitchell. I'm like, are we? Yeah, we saw him early.
Yeah, he didn't play all that well.
No.
So they yanked him, and he didn't come back, right?
No.
But
we started the second quarter with 2 starters on the floor. That's sort of crazy when you think about it.
From both teams
From
combined?
both teams.
Yeah.
Of the 10 guys out there, only 2 of them were starters. It was Siakam and J-Dub were the only guys out there at that point. Everybody else was from the bench.
I thought we'd see more Kenrich Williams. Why wasn't Mudflap out there?
Yeah, not a lot for him.
Yeah,
not a lot for him.
That was surprising.
Any other, game takeaways, big picture takeaways? We'll get to random notes and have some things to say about the broadcast in particular. But
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to take a while, so I think we should just go to that. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, we can go to that because obviously we just hope these games are like this game 1 because this was special, man.
There'll be some basketball talk even in these random notes. It's going to happen, baby.
All right, JD, let's do it. Random notes.
Random!
Yeah, I want to start by talking about the lack of finals pageantry with this broadcast. What is the NBA? What is ABC doing here? A lot of people on Twitter pointing out, and I think rightfully so, if you just turned this on and looked at it, besides the little gold accents on the score bugs from ABC, you would have no clue that this is really an NBA Finals game. You wouldn't.
That's a good point.
There's the LOB decal on the stanchion, which you can barely see.
Yep.
And that's sort of it. And I know they have like a patch on the back of their jerseys, but not on the front because that's where we got to put the sponsors. This is weird. This is like really, really strange. Back in the day, of course, we had the big Larry O'Brien decal at center court. It looked awesome. I have no idea why we went away from this.
So
we had it for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone. Were people slipping on it? Was that the issue? Okay, whatever. Then the league brought back, remember that cool final script from back in the day? Remember we used to have, they went to like really basic, ugly, generic ones. Everyone was like, bring back that cool final script. So they did. And that was on the floor at times. That's nowhere to be seen. And then also on top of this, we get no player intros. We get no anthem. We get no real hype videos. Again, it just feels like a Saturday night game on ABC in March. And that's not what they should be doing. It's really perplexing how much they just mail it in and how little they like lean into the moment and to like, again, like making this a really big deal. Like a regular Monday Night Raw is Monday Night Raw. Then watch WrestleMania. You know within 5 seconds of watching it. Oh, this is special. This is the big game. Same thing with the Super Bowl. Why are they doing this?
It's a fair question. I don't know why. I don't know why they just don't put Larry O'Brien back at center court.
well.
It doesn't have to be a monster. It doesn't have to be
Put it somewhere.
Well, I would put it as an extension. If you want OKC in this instance being the logo and being exactly like it was, all you kind of have to do is put Larry under it a little bit. Like at least something there. It doesn't have to be huge.
We don't even need it actually on the floor if we're so concerned about guys slipping. Put it in virtually for the millions of us watching.
Yeah, and just on center court in that line in between the logo and the sideline. like under it.
Of course.
Yeah, something.
Put something.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking even, this is, again, I like that ABC with the score bug, they lean into like the gold, right? Okay, that at least is something, and it's a nice little touch. Why don't we do that with, if they don't want to put a giant LOB decal, make the Oklahoma City Thunder logo, like, make it gold, right? Like, like lean into that. Do the same thing when we go to Indiana.
Some gold accents.
Yeah, like,
sure.
like just give it something so we know that this is a little bit different. This is like the most important games of the year.
You're right. It is odd that it's hiding on the stanchion. It's like, it's kind of not there. You don't really see it. No, I saw it in our...
I bet you people didn't even know it's on there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I saw it in the Athletic Slack as it was happening, and people were pointing it out. I saw our man Zach Harper pointing it out that it's on the stanchion, and I was watching. I said, I didn't even notice that it was there. Totally. I guess the other... So there are two things. Yeah, make it a little bit more glamorous, make it a show. And it would be nice to have the intros. There's no doubt.
Exactly. I mean, NBC... they better give us the intro. I don't even know who's going to have the finals. I think maybe it still sticks with ESPN.
I think
ABC.
so, yeah, because they're talking about Doris not being there next year. It must be ESPN.
It's just so weird.
Potentially not being there, I
that
should say.
That crowd
is
is hyped.
Yeah. That must
like,
be for commercials in that.
Yeah, so
and
well,
that
this is, the answer's always going to be because we need more money from our commercials.
And that's why watching the NBA app in-game arena is awesome, because you get to watch.
You get the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, you do. You do. And some arenas are so good. I mean, whoever's controlling the audio, they just know how to pump good music, and it's just fun. Yeah, you feel it. You feel it way more like you're sort of at a playoff game.
It feels like a bigger deal.
Yeah.
It should, because it is.
Yeah.
But again, you wouldn't really know that last night watching it on ABC like I did. Like the crowd, it's amazing.
It is.
But it's like nothing visually, nothing of the hype, nothing like you just like, oh, this is just another game. That's not what we should be having. That's like, you're not selling your league very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you can't really hear the fans the same way as if you were in the building. It's not the same. Although they have great fans, and that was the only why I'm bringing that up, because that was the only thing that makes you feel like, okay, they're standing up.
Absolutely.
These fans are awesome.
This is not on them.
I try and make the sound as good as I can in my house. I put whatever little surround speakers I got. I'm there with my hands connecting this orange and red wire. But I want to hear it. I want to hear everything.
Okay.
And I want to turn it up. But a lot of the time, it's not conveyed. It doesn't translate, because sometimes the audio levels, you can't hear the...
Yeah.
But I just want to... Yeah, I would love to hear the intro sounds.
Of
the
course.
Intro. It would
and
be
you
so
want to
much
hear,
fun.
I want to be able to mute the TV and know it's an NBA Finals game.
Yeah.
And you'd be hard pressed to do that last night.
Yeah, visually, the visual aid would be nice.
And a lot of people pointing this out. I know our guy Mike Vorkanoff at The Athletic, I saw him tweet it. It's odd that the NBA puts so much into making the NBA Cup so distinct visually.
Yeah.
That those games look more distinct than the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that. As you said it, as you were talking about WrestleMania.
Right.
Yeah, the fact that they make one sort of tournament thing. Yeah, it is weird. The entire court is different. Why they don't do a little bit different. Yeah,
Piss me off.
Yeah,
you know
I get it.
Actually, JD, come back to me. You were on me there for a second. Look at this hat. Shout out to CJ Toledano. This is the hat. Richard Jefferson was asking for this hat on Twitter last night. And for those that don't know,
was he?
For you podcast listeners, put the Larry O'Brien trophy back on the finals court.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Follow through. Great hat.
Yeah, we got the Larry O'Brien here in the studio. It was great.
The actual trophy, yeah.
Yeah. The actual trophy. There's a new version of it. Obviously, it's not just this shiny ball. It's got the grooves on it. It's so much more fun. CJ Toledano's totally right. They got to do it. Congrats to baby number 2. Yeah. What else is there to say? It's unfortunate that visually it's not there.
Yes.
I will say one basketball thing also that I was upset by. Caruso hacked Pascal Siakam. Do you remember early on? And Caruso calling for the video.
Right.
Let's see it. And the broadcaster saying, "Why is he calling for the video? It was a clear foul." But he did hit the ball first. I'm just wondering. Like, am I seeing the same thing as? Am I going nuts? Like, they didn't mention for 1 second at all that Caruso did touch basketball, and then he hit
him.
Siakam's forearms, which totally true. But RJ knows, Doris knows. Say something about hitting the ball. That's all I wanted. Okay. And that was a quick one there.
This is a clip we have to play for you. It was making the rounds. Haliburton on SportsCenter last night with SVP after the game, and we're going to play it sound up for everybody here on YouTube and the podcast listeners. Pay close attention to Haliburton's voice.
Here's the thing is like we've had to win in so many different ways all year.
Mm-hmm.
We've had so many weird wins during the regular season, during the playoffs. So why would that change? Because we're here in the finals. It's not changing. So we just keep staying at it and just keep believing, and that's the result we get.
So this is something that's come up a million times before.
That's
this
so
guy's
good.
like voice changing while he's talking.
It's amazing.
And Karl Anthony Towns is a culprit with this as well. But this one is like one of the best ever because he's talking about changing while his voice then changes. And goes completely different and then sort of comes back to where it was.
Yeah. That's when I jump over to my speakers and I say, "Oh, my speakers are effed up."
Tess is
the orange wire.
doing the wires. Danny, did you touch this? Haliburton's voice is going weird.
Come on,
Isn't it crazy?
it is crazy. It's like, is he doing it on? It feels like he's doing it on purpose at times because he's done it so many times, but he can't be.
No, I think
he's
it's
just talking.
It's just him. It's just I don't even know if it's a tick. I wouldn't even call it that. It
No.
just happens to him.
This is great.
I
That's so
think
good.
Spike Eskin tweeted, Haliburton's voice sounds like he's on a broken cassette player that keeps changing speeds while you're playing it. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Another moment last night. We got another Rick spit. We got a hell of a shot from the ABC crew with Rick. Watch this one. He's getting it ready. Getting the phlegm going. He's forming it. Where's my cup? Let me spit.
Let me spit.
Jesus, Murphy.
I was expecting it to be more, to be honest,
Yeah.
after all that.
Yeah, the build-up.
Yeah.
But wow, this
Right.
is like our third or fourth Rick spits.
Yeah, we've been debating. Is he putting dip in there? Is it a Kodiak? What's going on there? But we did have one of our fans chime in.
This is a thing that he does.
This is a thing
It's
over
like
the
just got
years.
phlegm.
But the fan actually did the research.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is our new wedgie, is it?
Literally, this is no joke. I have some info on the Rick Carlisle spitting situation for you. It's actually kind of uncanny that you all have started talking about this topic because my wife, a Pacers fan, and I have been on this beat for about a year.
Okay.
Last spring for her birthday, we sat immediately behind the Pacers bench for a road game. Awesome experience, best seats we've ever had to an NBA game. The sounds and insights of sitting down low are completely different. However, we both came away with one impression that we couldn't wait to talk about upon getting in the car. Rick is pretty mucusy, huh? The man is spitting, snorting, picking, and wiping all game long.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wiping.
Yeah. They changed his spit cup out at halftime. Other guys on the bench, like Miles, are big into the candy and gums, but not Rick. He's all natural American phlegm. So yeah, spitting, snorting, picking, and wiping.
So this
apparently.
is a thing.
Yeah, it's just
that
phlegm.
we've just come hip to.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
really is our new wedgietracker.com. We've had no wedgies for like 40 days. So now we just keep our eye on Rick spitting.
Rick spits.
And they keep showing us, and that was the best one yet.
Yeah.
And it's nice. People are now like tweeting us immediately, getting in on Instagram. Rick spit, first quarter, 6:20. I'm like, duly noted, sir. I saw it as well.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We just showed that to you on YouTube, but we won't show you is a man, I guess he works for the Oklahoma City Thunder, having his credential on his chest, and you're not supposed to have your credential just showing anywhere.
No. Trey was good last night, and Ash.
His name was Randy Hall. I could see it clearly.
Calling him out.
Yeah, Randy. All right, listen, Randy, congrats. I wanted to see who it was. And you could clearly see his name, the photo, the whole thing. It's just, but anyway, that's all. We won't show it to you here. But if you want to go back to the broadcast, you can check it out. But either way, you're supposed to kind of put it in your pocket. But what is a person to do?
Okay,
They want to get
this
to
actually
courtside.
drives me nuts.
Yeah.
This like, okay, if you're on TV, make sure your badge isn't showing.
Exactly.
Who cares? What are people gonna do? What's gonna happen? They're gonna like be able to take a photo of it
Copy it, yeah.
from my YouTube or television screen and copy it and
Reproduce
make it,
Yeah.
and then what? Change my face to look like Randy Hall? Like what? What?
Yeah, well,
Well,
guess.
Your photo's on it.
Listen, when you're 16
All right,
years old,
McLovin.
when you're 16 years old, I use my friend Vladimir's fake ID to get into bars or whatever.
Yeah,
So it's a similar sort of thing. You get to see where Randy Hall is able to go. It says all these letters, C, F, F, G, R, whatever he can get into the back for press and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we always hear it at Summer League. We always hear it throughout the finals. Our man Warren will say, "Hey, put that thing away," for whatever reason.
I would like to think that security at Game 1 in the NBA Finals is a little tighter than Firkin on Yonge Street, or whatever sports bar you're trying to get into.
Yeah.
Just a little, but maybe not, because they are, God, they're hardcore about you put that away. Mm-hmm. Hey, you put that away. Don't let them see that on TV.
Maybe you need to have them out more, because I've been watching again. I've been watching after the John Haliburton can't come courtside. Had the flashback of Masai Ujiri getting pushed when he went to go celebrate the championship in 2019 by the officer. He pushed him, and Masai didn't have the badge or the credential out. Mm-hmm. He had it kind of tucked away, so you had to pull it out and show it to him. So I don't know. Maybe if the cop sees it, he doesn't push him. Whatever. Just, it's fine. It's totally fine. I don't see a problem with it either. What I do see a problem with is they continuously play David Guetta's Bulletproof in OKC. I do like watching the in-game arena experience on my TV, but I'm tired of hearing, "We're bulletproof, nothing to lose, fire away,
they
fire
play it a lot,
away."
Do they?
It's like they play it every game. And I thought, they played in the fourth quarter. Like, this is our anthem. It feels like we're going to win this thing.
Maybe switch it up.
I
guess they have won a lot with it. So.
Yeah, no, it works. I'm tired of it.
I don't know when we're going to find out the ratings for Game 1. I don't know how quickly they turn that around. But I was thinking, in watching this game, and how many people are, and they should be, because holy crap, what a Game 1, that they should count dogs watching the game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is a bit of a stoner thought for sure. But I was thinking, how many dogs are watching Game 1 of the NBA Finals right now? I don't even know what the number would be. I don't even know where to start. But anyway, Luna was in the room while I was watching. Yeah, we have a photo here. She couldn't really care less about what was going on. But
she's not even facing the TV.
I know. She was comfy though, wasn't she?
Yeah. Using
her bed as a pillow. It was a power move from Sweet Luna. But anyway, somebody on the stream team, how many dogs do you think watched Game 1 in the NBA Finals? That's what I'm going to do when we get inevitably low ratings. I'm going to try and respond to every tweet I see with, but how many dogs we're watching? And just see what reaction you get to that.
Yeah. I mean, Hazel's obsessed with balls, so she watches. She'll actually watch. She's into it.
Okay, good.
That's a good callback to the cold open as well. Like the
that's true. I couldn't believe JD picked that. And then my final random note, is, we keep talking about the Pacers being like this team of destiny, maybe. Like, holy crap, how do they keep doing this? These comebacks, how do they keep pulling out these victories? And I'm wondering if we had something to do with it, JD. We did go to Paris.
We did.
And we did see the Indiana Pacers play the San Antonio Spurs twice. And I did wear a full Indiana Pacers getup, full uniform during a game I played and where I just said a bunch of French words. And there's our guy Jan Mahimi there, making me look like a small child.
You still wear it?
I do wear the shorts a lot. I'll admit to not wear the jersey, but I like the shorts.
Yeah,
very comfortable. But I don't know. Like, this was January, JD, and this is when the Pacers became the Pacers.
And they were the villains there.
They were the villains there. I won that game I played in. Team Pacers won.
In spite of Jan.
In spite of Jan,
He was calling everything.
Guy was, really had it out for me.
He was the ref, right?
Yeah, he was the ref. I was getting a bad whistle. But we still won. Didn't matter. And, anyway, I'm just saying, maybe we have a small part in this if they go on to win the title.
I'm taking
I just like an invite to the parade is all I'm saying.
That's all. That's all we ask.
I'll wear the full getup, and people will think I'm TJ McConnell, as I get a lot of that from that photo. Anyway, you got anything else?
No. Well, I will just say Lou Dort running through screens, I find amazing, because he doesn't even know what's coming sometimes, and he just was able to penetrate it. He's such a truck or transformer or whatever you want to call him. He's just so strong. Again, he doesn't see it coming, but he's able to go through it.
But it's then amazing. Sometimes just decides to pretend like he was shot by a bullet. And just fall over. That's the weirdest thing with him.
Yeah, when he doesn't know what's coming, he can't flop.
Right.
But he's so strong and so able to go through it. So somebody should put those together. I think it's just fun to watch him. Again, I don't know what's coming. I'm just running to the side, and he's so much like a truck.
A couple people got popped by picks last night. Benedict Mathurin took one. Nobody called out that one.
Yeah,
he hurt his shoulder. I think Caruso got laid out once. Like, you know, they were like high out there on the floor and people weren't talking enough. Maybe it was too loud with those damn fan clapper things. So they couldn't hear each other say it left, right, whatever. This guy's got crushed on a couple.
Yeah, I am surprised. Apparently, they do turn up the volume in OKC.
What do you mean turn up the volume?
And audio-wise, they just literally, like a little bit of fan, you know, just audio, just like they turn up the volume. They just literally play.
But you mean turn up the volume as in turn up the music or turn up like fake fans?
Yeah, fake fans, I'd say.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How do you know this?
Well, it came through in the Slack. I do want to make sure it wasn't music that they turn up, but it came through on our Athletic Slack that volume turned up, which it doesn't seem like you would need it.
No.
At all in this arena. So. Well, I'm going to double check as you bring in our next topic.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have anything else randomly or really from the game. I'm just hyped for Game 2. That's Sunday night. We will all be back here in the Classic Factory on Monday to break down Game 2. The guys are headed back from OKC, so we won't have an immediate reaction pod on Sunday. And we'll see if like OKC can do what they've done many times in this postseason. They're 4-0 after losses, so they've always come back with a win. They've averaged in those games a victory of like 20.5 points. So they're usually beatdowns. Yeah. They come back. They haven't, you know, they lost consecutive games twice during the regular season. Like they almost never do. So, you know, but it feels like sort of a must win. Not that they can't win on the road because they're really good, but you know, it's that Game 2 situation where you're down 1-0 and the Pacers have put a lot of teams already in this postseason in this position and a couple times taken a 2-0 lead. So can't wait for Sunday night.
Absolutely not. And OKC's fans will be bumping whether or not there's artificial sound or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't want to spread that misinformation, but I do love OKC's fans. And I liked how Adam Silver actually, who did his pregame media session, talked about all these ratings, the whole, hey, are enough people watching, and how people say it to him on the street if they see Adam Silver. What's going on with the ratings? He says the goal is that market size essentially becomes irrelevant is the whole goal. And you know, he looks at the way technological changes have changed. The meaning of the differential from one city to another doesn't really matter. He says, yeah, there's 700,000 people in OKC, 900,000 people in Indianapolis. So not small markets, but even if there were another million people or so in a city, when you're talking to a global market in a sport like the NBA, when you're being followed by billions of people around the world, those incremental changes become pretty meaningless. Doesn't matter. That's what he's saying in the end.
Stop asking Silver about ratings and start asking him about, why don't we have the Larry O'Brien trophy on the damn floor of the finals? Start doing that, everybody.
Yeah, well,
maybe we'll get him to do it.
The game is super popular, and now that we're watching it streamed, he just feels like the game is getting bigger, like it's getting bigger in Europe, like when you're playing with Jan Mahimi. And it really doesn't matter, but it does matter if you do know that it's the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
I do agree. A visual and some sort of pump
I'm sorry.
up.
Find one person that disagrees with this like take that, again, everybody on Twitter was making last night. Make us know it's the NBA Finals. Lean into it.
I immediately think
fanfare, glamour, pageantry. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Nobody's going to say, no, we don't want that. No, they're not.
Does soccer do it would be the question, because that's what Adam Silver loves. But I guess you know when the World Cup is happening.
I would say the World Cup sort of goes over the top in terms of their presentation for big games once you move on in the World Cup.
Yeah, in soccer and leagues, I guess maybe it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. We're here at the NBA. It should be. We should know. We should know Larry's being played for. It's a great trophy. It was great to touch here in the factory. Yeah, put it out there. Just put it out there.
We're not asking for much here, Silver. Come on. All right, before we go, it is the drop. It is Friday, so let's have some rapid fire fun. I got the questions. You guys will answer. I'll answer with you because there's only 3 of us here in studio today. First one, earlier this week, Adidas unveiled the Harden Volume 9 J-Dub colorway. As you can see, JD's going to throw it up here. The kicks draw inspiration from Jalen Williams' favorite 90s cartoon, Pinky and the Brain. God, I loved that cartoon. It features a white upper contrasted by lucid lime and lucid pink. Quite the colors here. So my question for you guys, what other cartoon-inspired sneakers would you like to see? Tass.
Well, I'm going quite literal because the Tasmanian Devil is what I'm often called. Like Silver's asked about ratings, I'm asked about the Tasmanian Devil, or people, collate my name with Tasmanian Devil. Why can't you just put Tasmanian Devil on the side of shoes? I think it would make me play harder. If I happen to look down and I see, whoa, that thing, that cartoon that's able to spin, I would play harder. So get the Tasmanian Devil on some shoes. Do they exist? Maybe. I mean,
I feel like they might.
They have to.
Yeah, but they can look
cooler. Feels like
cooler.
Everything's been put on a shoe at this point, but I still like it.
Yeah, and they can look cooler.
Okay.
Like the Harden J-Dubs.
Do you like those shoes, by the way? The colorway? They're like not his signature shoe. They are Harden's, but they're like his PEs, like player exclusives.
Yeah, I think they look all right.
I actually don't mind them. Pinky and the Brain. Like, if I had shown you those, would you have been able to say, oh, those are Pinky and the Brain inspired? Yeah.
I'd say like Buzz Lightyear or something
like
that.
Yeah. But anyway, JD, what other cartoon-inspired sneakers would you like to see?
I mean, I was gonna say Thundercats, and then I Googled Thundercats, and there's already a shoe.
Yeah.
There's a shoe for everything. But I love the red and black, like the logo, the Thundercats logo, just the cat. Yeah. It looks awesome. But then I thought, I worked on a show called Caillou, and back in the day when I was working on it, I would say, I work on a show called Caillou, and parents would be like, you son of a bitch. Yeah. They hate that show. But now I say I worked on Caillou, and people are like, I love that show. I love that show growing up. They're kids who are adults now. So maybe a Caillou shoe. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
What does that even look like?
I mean, it's a sandal, really, because he's bald, right? So you have your big toes sticking out, representing his head, his bald head. But, red, like very primary colors, like red, blue. I think there's a yellow in there. He wears like a red shirt and blue shorts.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, Caillou.
Caillou.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caillou. It's French Canadian.
Yeah. Okay. He's very colorful.
Yeah. Sure. Also had Pink Panther. Pink is great on a shoe, and I don't think there's a Pink Panther shoe.
Well, that's shocking if there wasn't.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do like the Thundercats. I had that in my notes as well. Remember that clip we found of Sean Marion? How horny he was for Thundercats? Oh, that was great. He should have had some. But I'll go with we need some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Jakob Pertl needs his own shoe, and it needs to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle inspired. And I think he could really lean into it. Every quarter wears a different colorway.
Yeah.
One orange for Michelangelo, Raphael red,
That's
Donatello purple, Leonardo blue. Whatever order you want to do it, but he could swap them in and out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, next one. Doris Burke's spot on ESPN's lead NBA broadcasting team is not guaranteed for next season. According to our own Andrew Marchand, ESPN executives will debate if they feel Doris Burke is better on a 2-person team as opposed to a 3-person team. So we'll see. My question, though, is when is having less of something a good idea?
When you go to a buffet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I see all the trays, and I think, I'm going to eat from all of them. And what I ended up doing every single time is I probably take from like half of them. I sit down, and then I get up, and I think, okay, time to get the other ones. But I'm almost too full to actually do it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you enjoyed the ones you had so much that you're like, well, I might as well just get more of that.
Oh.
Because I know I've done that, too.
Right, yeah. I go both ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes I take too much of everything. Sometimes I just stop after that first one. Sometimes I will just get a dessert, call it a day. Lots of options.
So you think there's just too many?
Oh, there are way too
things,
many.
Though.
There's way too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to take it all in.
Yeah, if the buffet is good. If it's a good buffet,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of variety and it's all good.
But he's almost saying the opposite. To him,
It's
a
too
really
much.
good buffet has less options. I know it sounds contradictory, but maybe he's right. I sort of agree with it.
Oh, yeah. It all changes. It all depends on the place. But even still, not every tray. You're not going to love every tray, right?
The problem is the buffet is like, it has to have a million things because it wants to please everyone.
Exactly.
But what we're asking for is just a personalized buffet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which
Give me
you
the
can
best of
do.
the best,
Which you can do. You just pick the foods you want
Yes,
and
that's
sit
true.
down.
And don't worry about the other ones.
That's what you have to do.
That's how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the last buffet I was at, I had sushi and prime rib on my plate at the same time.
Wow.
Georgia,
Should be
man.
illegal, man.
This was in Mexico, too, actually.
I take it back. I feel like Atlanta is similar to that. We do the fusion. They try and they spread themselves a little too thin, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Remember the, I guess it was a breakfast buffet that we did in Vegas the one time?
How could I forget?
And it was like $80.
Yeah. And we didn't even finish because it was the day LeBron left the Cavs.
Was it really?
Yeah. When we were all like got up and we left.
Like we basically had like one plate of just
Yeah.
I remember I had a legit normal breakfast.
Yeah, same.
And a couple pieces of bacon, some eggs, some toast.
Yep.
And then we left.
And we left.
Here's
We got
my
there. We're like,
$80.
holy shit, LeBron. I think he was leaving
Yeah.
the Cavs, right? Was he going to
Or was
LA
he-
or was he going
leaving
back
the
to
Heat back to
maybe
the
he's going back
Cavs?
to the
That
Cavs.
sounds
That's
right.
what it was.
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
sounds
Yep.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that place called? It was like
It
a
was
devil.
in the Cosmos.
Yeah.
What the hell was
It's
it
still
called?
there, I think.
Oh yeah.
Who cares? Doesn't matter. But anyway. Okay. JD, when is having less of something a good idea?
Oh, stories, I mean, leave shit out of stories, take out stuff, leave things to the imagination. What comes to mind is the Russian guy in The Sopranos. Remember that episode where Paulie and Chris are chasing a Russian mobster
Yeah.
through Pine Barrens?
Yeah.
They shoot him.
That's like an iconic episode. Yeah.
Yeah. And he disappears. Never explained. You think, oh, this guy's going to come back. He worked for Salva,
Right.
the other guy, the Russian version
There'll
of
be
The
repercussions
Sopranos.
to this.
Something's going to happen. We just never found out. People debate to this day. What happened to that guy?
Oh.
There's enough.
And you
It's
like
just-
that.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
They did that a lot in The Sopranos. Just sometimes things don't get explained. You got to live with it. The ending. Everybody's like wondering what happened with the ending. I love the ending because we're still talking about it.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
great.
but what about like polar bears on the island in Lost?
I mean,
It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And like never explained from what I can remember with the old Dharma Initiative.
It's a great point, but also, The Lost was a great ride.
No, you're right.
I mean, ultimately,
Till
who
the
gives
end.
a shit about the polar bears? It was weird and cool.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, why? What is it doing there? I don't know.
Gets the people going. When you were saying stories, I literally thought you meant Instagram stories.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, those could go.
I thought you were like, everybody that has like, when I go to your page and it's got like the tiniest little dots because there's like 100 stories, like cut them
Yeah,
out, which
too many.
also is true.
Yeah.
Not Mo Verney stories, less Verney stories.
He's been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Great answers. My
Yeah,
answer
good
for
one.
this is when is having less something a good idea? Generally, songs on an album.
Okay.
You like most albums, no matter how great an album is.
I agree.
Yeah, you got like 2 or 3 that you don't need in there.
A double album?
Oh,
Get out of
no,
here.
No.
Yeah.
No. I want an album. I want it between 50 minutes and 100, an hour 10. And I want, honestly, I do want a sub-hour
Yeah.
album, and I
Yeah.
want 12 songs
Okay.
max.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I'm
I would say
totally with you.
10.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
12's too many.
8.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Cut the fat.
Wow.
And maximum 3 minutes each song.
Ooh. Yeah, most songs. There are some
songs.
you can make an exception for, but yeah.
You're a real Matt Austin, just trimming the fat.
Trim.
But I'm with you. Yeah, when you said 50 minutes to an hour, 10, it's too long.
Yeah,
You just shorten it
50
up.
minutes, I think, is a really nice sweet spot
Yeah.
for if it's a good album, of course.
so.
But there's so many that it's like longer
yeah.
and it doesn't need to be.
Oh,
yeah. All right, final one here. We had a viral video yesterday on TikTok, which was
Hey.
hilarious timing because I was like just saying, hey, we're not doing well on TikTok. But Trey asking other Thunder players to finish Chet Holmgren's phrase, 54 from Trey ball is, and then he was asking all the guys to finish it. The answer is Odie shooting hang pulls, of course. Hit over 250,000 on the TikTok. So we're back, baby.
Nice.
Back in the algorithm. All we had to do was speak to the younger generation, speaking this weird language. 54 from Trey ball is Odie shooting hang pulls. So off of that, I want to know what's a slang word or phrase task that we should try to incorporate in our next social video. Keep the numbers flowing on TikTok.
Well, this is how the video is produced. I go around asking people, what's 43 plus 24? And then they do the math and they say 67. And everybody is doing this thing where it looks like they're juggling.
I forgot to look this up.
I don't-
You
I
said this the other day. Yeah.
I still don't totally understand, but it has something to do with the
song?
answer. The answer is the 67 has to do with LaMelo's 43 card. Like the number of the card is 43. And I don't
what
it's-
card?
Panini card.
Oh.
I think. I don't know.
Okay.
This could be a Google Gemini lying to me here. But I think that's what it is. But or maybe not. I don't know because people answer 67 and then the questioner, the interviewer, just blows up. He's like and does the juggling motion. I still don't know exactly what it means, but it could mean LaMelo something because he's also 6'7". I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows, man?
Numerology or something.
Wow.
Here with this.
Well, yeah, that's a tough one, but people love it. Derrick Rose got asked. He did it.
He knew it.
No, he didn't.
Oh, because he's just answering the
He said
math
6'7".
equation.
Yeah, people doing the math.
But what does he do when everybody starts juggling? And what does he do? Just go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the guy, the interviewer will say, yeah, the 67. And I still don't know the answer.
Wait, so you're just tricking somebody into saying 67.
Correct. Yes.
And then it's like, in your face.
Yes.
Juggle,
yes.
juggle, juggle.
Yes, because 67 as a reference is something.
Right. Which we're not quite
Yeah,
sure.
100. Yeah, I don't know. Google doesn't do it. The proper answer, really. The Google Gemini, not an ad, because I'm bad mouthing it.
Work, yeah.
But it says something about LaMelo. Who knows?
Okay, I love it. We'll try it in our next one. JD, what do you got, man? You got young kids.
Yeah, but I'm the oldest guy in the neighborhood. Like, look, I asked my friend Chad, GPT.
Hey, Chad.
And
Chad was a neighbor.
No, he's my friend
okay.
who helps me out with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but he gave me 10 phrases.
All right.
That I don't trust because I know all of them. You know what I mean? Like I should not know any of these if it's going to be an actual slang that kids are using today.
Right.
Like Delulu, Riz, no cap, mid, slaps, it's giving, bet, touch grass, skibbity. That was like
we know all
a year
these.
ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
And
Even
NPC.
Chad hasn't been able to keep up with the lingo of the kids. The kids already moved on from these.
I know. And Chad is so young. Like what? 2 years old or whatever?
He's just a baby.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm going to just pick the one that I like the most right now, and it's Delulu.
Okay.
And I know how old I sound right now, and I hate it. It's very cringe. It's giving
nice one.
old fuck. I can't handle it. So, I'm going to say Delulu, and let's just move on.
Okay. Yeah, I felt this way as well. I did the whole list, too. I'm trying to find one like that I had no clue what it was, and it was difficult to find one. But I do like the saying, ate and left no crumbs.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I just like it.
That one.
I like it. I feel like we can at least maybe even get away with that one.
Yeah.
So maybe that will make an appearance in the next one.
Sure.
Ate and left no crumbs. That's what you just did on this podcast, Task.
I wish. But that is a good one.
It's good.
I do
It's
like
good.
that one.
To bring it back to the buffet.
Yes.
I leave a lot of crumbs at a buffet.
Yeah.
I'm leaving way more than crumbs.
That's frowned upon. That's frowned upon.
What, in the buffet world?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the whole point. Let me taste test that. Oop, do not like. Who cares? Leave it on the plate. Throw it out.
Are you taking it home? Are you packing it for
No,
yourself?
not if I dislike it, no. But hey, look, you know me. I don't like a lot of food on a plate in general. Like
Right.
I am like turned off by eating when there's just like too much food.
When it's a pile.
Thanksgiving, not a great day for me. Because you see insane plates. People load it up. I'm gonna go back for more.
That's
And you've seen this as
America.
well. Yeah. That's America. Right?
So hold on, you're going back for more like new items, or are you getting a little bit of everything?
I'm like, ooh, this looks good. I might try this, but I have to admit I like
right.
the things I like, so I'm gonna go with my
Sure.
staples. But my point is, I'm going small plates, little portions. I'll go
Right.
back. I'll get up. I'll go back.
Okay.
Hell, I'll use the same plate. Don't do that. They never want you doing that.
Yeah.
What up with that? It's got to be like a sanitary reason.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's fine. I'll just use the same plate.
Right.
But,
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm a same plate guy, but they don't want you using their
Like I'm
utensils,
touching
putting it on your
yeah,
plate.
Yeah, I
guess
get it.
that
I get
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah,
I
I
get it.
guess.
Anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
8 and left so many crumbs at the buffet. I mean, it works too, right?
Totally.
When you do a horrible job.
You just got in there and got out. You left a lot of crumbs, but you still ate, so that's a good thing.
I'm still full. All right, let's call it there, dear Lord. That was Rapid Fire, Not So Rapid, but hopefully that was another classic edition here of the podcast. You tell us, did we eat and leave no crumbs? Do so by hitting the like button, by subscribing, by leaving us a 5-star rating and review. What an awesome game last night. What a start to the NBA Finals. Let's hear your thoughts on it. Let's hear you how think this series is going to go now. have you flipped? Do you think the Pacers can do maybe the impossible as big underdogs and win this thing, or do you think the Thunder will take back control and still win it in whatever 5, 6, or 7? Let's hear from you. Let's hear other things maybe we missed, and let's get your opinions on the presentation from ABC/NBA when it comes to the finals. Interested to hear people's takes on that as well.
Absolutely.
Until Monday morning, when we'll be here in the Classic Factory to talk about Game 2, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, the playoffs have just been spectacular. Who cares about small markets? Who cares that OKC is a small market and Indianapolis is a small market? Who cares?
Who cares, man? To
It's
quote
just great ball.
Haliburton, man, basketball is fun.
Yeah.
Brace the weekend, people.